Let's remember why I'm here. And when I say here, I mean I'm here in Las Vegas this week for the World Series of Poker, which I continuously update everybody. Moving on to day two. Let's remember why I'm here now online for you guys. I'm here to help you make money. What I do is I simplify things. If it's business, if it's the infrastructure plan, I process it, I diagnose it, and I pass you guys the information. So I can talk about recent plays, and if you want to see recent plays, you can check any of my previous videos where I spoke about LAC, QS, Edit. There are so many stocks that I've mentioned that have yielded 25 to 40% returns within 3 weeks. So I'm not touting myself. I'm not saying follow it. Do your own due diligence. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. But again, I'm here, and I used to be here for two simple reasons. Number one, to simplify. Number two, to level the playing field. Remember my background: Wall Street, hedge fund, institution. I was the devil. I was that guy manipulating the market, getting all your retail traders to say, oh no, the stock's going to dive. And then when it hit the bottom, I was buying. So let me tell you what new stocks I haven't spoken about that can yield us great returns. Now I'm going to simplify it real quick first. The stock I'm going to bring up is WYNN, WYNN. It just happens that I'm staying at the WYNN for the next week. With that said, I did my own exploration. The casino downstairs is tremendous. It was packed every day, every night. These casinos make a fortune. They only need one or two large whales to lose a lot of money, to turn their quarter around. All right, so let's get into the stock. I entered into a position today. Again, let's remember, if I have a position, I like to tell you guys about it. If I'm not in a position, I tell you about it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to zoom out, and we're going to look at the 3-month chart. And we're going to say WYNN was all the way up north of $105. And when they sold it off, it was about $94. So we're already above that, or we're hovering right around there. I believe we're at $94.43 right now, something like $95.72. So right now, this is going to be a little hover period because that's where most of the volume was, right in this range where we are right now. Here, then volume decreases. There's a little interest here, but I expect it to consolidate and go back down. So we got a little break here, which is under 90. Now, anybody that's on my platform, remember, anytime WYNN hit $90, I said we buy WYNN, we ride it up to $94. Now, why is that strategy changing? And I'll tell you why. Because WYNN is likely going to be $110, let's say the end of January, okay? Which gives us the rest of November, which is about 2 weeks. Then you have 3 to 4 weeks in December, because remember, end of the year is very light trading. And then you have January. So I'm saying about 10 to 11 weeks time. WYNN's at 95. If it goes up $15, that's about 18%. So I'm suggesting WYNN could have an 18% move higher in about 10 or 11 weeks time. I think that's a fair assessment. Now, the good news is, if I'm incorrect about WYNN, it could actually ride up even higher. As you can see, WYNN was $120 in July of this year. Now, you're thinking, same as me. July, wasn't the Delta variant still around? Yes. Weren't we mostly still in lockdown? Kind of. We were coming out of it. Remember in July or the summer months, all the infection rates went down and everybody was going out again? Well, that is why the casino spiked from $102, which is still above the current price, all the way to $140. Now remember, we don't care about 102, we don't care about 140, we care where the stock is going now, and the stock is probably going to 109 by the end of January. So you have 10 weeks time. Let's just narrow down this chart. Let's look at the 3-month again. Great. You guys know I like to look at the 1-month chart because that shows me inflow and demand. So we'll go over here back to the beginning of October. Inflow, 5 days straight. We're up to $91. Outflow, consolidation, blah, 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 blah. And again, this range in here is all consolidating, which is 1, 2, 3, about 4 weeks of consolidation, where the high was $93.75 or $94. Remember, know a stock like family, my other YouTube lesson. I said WYNN was trading in a range of $90 on the low to $94 on the high. So every time it went down to $90, I bought options. Up to $94, I sold my options. We're changing the plan because WYNN is about to break out and push higher. As you can see, heavy volume up to basically $97. Now, what happens when you push to a new high? After you push to a new high, it consolidates. You get 1 or 2 days of outflow. So we'll even look and we'll say today's outflow, but volume's so light, 1.3 million. We're already at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, which means at least 50% of this trading is done for the day. So if it's at 1.3 or 1.4, let's double to 2.8. It's still falling significantly lower than yesterday's volume, which tells you yesterday's volume was more truthful. Inflow and demand is there, and that's what I'm hoping to show you. So we can just go to the 5-day. We got the spike here. We got another heavy buying here. We got major buying here. It's just a trend. Institutions, hedge funds, Wall Street, they're doing the same thing right now. They're not talking about infrastructure stocks. Where they're gearing themselves is to return to play stocks. So I've mentioned this before. You could look at Wynn Casino, Las Vegas Sands. I know other people like Penn Casino. Personally, I don't. Not a big fan of Dave Portnoy. Don't like the way he handles himself. He talks about gambling and betting, and a lot of people follow him in. So I'm sorry for this advertisement here. But it's the same thing the way we trade stocks. That's the way we gamble. Nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. So you hit a win for $5,000, $10,000, how about $1,000 in the game? Do not feel obligated to jump right back into another bet or another wager. The same is true when we trade stocks. When we trade stocks and whatever it is, let's say WYNN spikes up to $100 tomorrow, I'm going to sell it, take my profit, let it come back down, and then repurchase. You understand? It's not going to go up to 100, 105, 110, 120, 140. Things consolidate. Nothing goes straight up except for rockets. Nothing goes straight down except for gravity pulls things straight down. All right, but the point is, stocks, gambling, goes up, secure profit, re-enter. It goes down, have a strategy, double down. Not the same for gambling. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about some other stocks that can totally benefit from the return to society play. So we've got the casino stocks that I mentioned. We've got cruise ships, which should be a little lagging airlines. All right, because understand, airlines are a continuous thing every day. The TSA has numbers out. The numbers are increasing. Things look like they're returning to normal, not business travel, but personal travel looks like it is. Whereas the cruise ships, I'm less familiar, okay? I know there was a ban. I know they only started sailing late summer. It might have been maybe September, maybe late July. I know they started sailing, releasing parts of their fleet at a time. So again, you have to realize the psychology of trading. So I ask you guys to think, who wants to buy these stocks? Well, if you think it's going up, you and I do. But I'm talking about other people, big money that controls the market, the institutions, the hedge funds, the banks. They control 80% of the market. Our share is about 20%. We put in our hard-earned money, they put in half of their money, and they still own the majority of the market. So let's talk about it. Again, their way of thinking, they're like, all right, airlines beaten up, airlines are going to return, numbers are coming out, they're actually profitable now, not heavily profitable, but they are getting profitable. Okay, so that's more of an instantaneous play. Same with the casinos. I told you, Vegas is crazy packed. There's legalized sports betting in so many states now. So then you go to the cruise ships. Well, I don't know. Cruise ships, they leave out of Florida, California, maybe like Vancouver, some out of New York. The point is, there aren't as many people cruising as there are people flying each day in the airports. Or there aren't as many people cruising as there are playing the casinos each day. So again, I've got my favorite return to society, Dow stocks play. With that said, let's talk about one other stock I haven't spoken about in quite some time, and I'm going to try and bring up the chart for everybody because it's Disney. And remember, the last time I was talking about Disney, I think it was 172. So we're approaching 177, which is great. Now, why is 177 great? Because it gives you a perfect entry. Disney will be somewhere around $240 by spring of next year. Okay, when I say spring, I'm talking about May, June. Let's assume that there's no virus spike, okay? But with things playing out back to normal, Disney theme parks, which usually brought in 80% of their earnings, will be popping again. All right, so let's go to the Disney chart. Let's just see the 3-month chart because we know we like to start there. Great. 3-month chart goes up, 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 up. Big fall. Oh, you think it's over? You think you're going to get the quick bounce? No, you're not getting a quick bounce. It goes right here, bounces, you're happy, but if you don't secure your profit, if you don't exit out on the bounce, you ride it even lower. Do you see it's even lower than this spot here? But then again, it bounced higher. So again, those who stay in the stock or your options play for a few weeks at a time or a few months at a time, you're riding the elevator. You go up, down, up, down. You're almost like a yo-yo. And if you like being a yo-yo and you're content being a yo-yo, congratulations. Now, if you want to make money, secure profit like me, you sell in spikes. So it goes back down, spikes up. Okay, so now it's hovering in that area of 169 to 170. And we're like, God, all right, either Disney tanks even lower, which I find it hard to do because every time you get huge volume right here, you're talking about 181, you're talking about 171, you're talking about 171. So we know that 171 is decent base. So we looked at yesterday's, or it would have been last day trading, 175 it topped out. Now, the same as WYNN stock, the chart. Remember the chart of WYNN? I'm looking for consolidation. So let's just go to the 1 month chart real quick. And here you go. Inflow, big spike to 177. What do we usually say after big spikes? Look, see the same thing? Big spike, 1, 2, 3 days of consolidation. So far, you've only got 1 day of Disney consolidation. So if I'm going to give you your entry into Disney stock, I'm going to look at the 5-day and I'm going to say to myself, it's going to consolidate a little more. Now, it won't consolidate past this spike right here, but I would tell you your entry is $175. You got it? Could be any more easier. Nice round number. In at 175. Matt, what are you talking about? It's 177. How am I going to get in at 175? Easy. You have patience. I just told you today's day 1 of consolidation. Usually stocks consolidate for 2 or 3 days. So I think you're going to be able to get in at 175. And where do I think Disney's going? Let's break up the chart, man. Because I think Disney's going to push an all-time high. Maybe not all-time. Let's see what the chart is. Yeah, Disney will probably push an all-time high. I wish I got in back here. Imagine that. $85. That's like a long timer. But yeah, Disney's going to break this. Disney's going to surprise everybody with their streaming. They always do. So my estimate on Disney is probably going to be maybe 240 was a little aggressive by June. Okay, let's take it down. Let's say 225. That's a fair average. 225 means the stock's going up 50 points, which is about 31.5% from where it is today. And again, if you get in at 175 and it goes up 50 points, you're still 32%. You make a little more. So entry point is most important. Now, if you appreciate my lesson today, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Go ahead, slam that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and pay it forward. Share this video. Let people understand the psychology of trading. Hope you guys have that light bulb moment. See you guys soon.